Good evening and welcome to the Murder Creek Coaches Show. Tonight, a little different. 10 weeks later, it is now the Battle of Murder Creek Coaches Show. Excited about being here. Coach Andrew Williams of W.S. Neal, Coach Keith Etheridge of T.R. Miller. Had our plans changed just a little bit. Yeah. Last year, we were on the bridge there separating the two towns. That was a wonderful setup, a great venue. Mother Nature had different plans for us today, and, of course, we're excited about being here with Larry Murphy at Camp 31. For those of you tuned in, we appreciate you joining us. Would certainly like to personally invite you to come out and get a good bite to eat, enjoy the fellowship. It's a restaurant full of folks here tonight. Everybody, of course, getting eagerly excited about the kickoff tomorrow night at Municipal Stadium between W.S. Neal and T.R. Miller. We're going to have a good time here tonight. Going to talk to a lot of folks. We're going to start with the coaches. Going to work down through the administrators, football players, cheerleaders. We might even get some managers for us all over with, or people in the restaurant. We're going to have a good time, and certainly appreciate all of you that are in with us tonight. I want to start with both of you, and of course, I want to say this before we get started. How much fun it's been for us at BMP to be able to promote both teams, both schools throughout the football season. You guys are awesome to work with. I've said it so many times, and I don't think it can be said enough how lucky all of our young people are to have people like yourselves and your assistant coaches in place, working with them on a daily basis, having your hands on them, and you are making a difference. You know, the scoreboard may not always end up the way we want it in every game, but the impact that is being made, the changes that are taking place in our young people, that'll pay dividends down the road, and those are the things I think that are most important to all of us. Yeah. That being said, tomorrow night that scoreboard is going to be pretty important to a lot of people. This is a big game to say the least. It's a game these two communities love to participate in, love to watch play. Coach Williams, you, of course, coached in this one last year. Coach Etheridge, this will be your first one tomorrow night. I know you're excited about that. And, Coach, I'll start with you. Talk a little bit about going through it one time last year and how that has maybe helped you this year in terms of setting up your week of preparation with your football team, your coaching staff, and how you manage a rivalry game in general.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you and Ken for what y'all have done to keep this show going and the emphasis y'all have put on it to make this rivalry be like it's been, not just this year and last year, but over the years. I mean, this is so special across the state, and, you know, the people take a lot of pride in what's going on with this rivalry, you know, and, you know, it's a great rivalry to be a part of. I'm just blessed to be a part of it. I know Keith feels the same way here this year. But, yeah, we just try to go about our business, you know, like a normal routine, so to speak. Try not to let the kids get too high and try to stay even keel across the board. A lot of times, you know, a rivalry game, you sort of get caught up in the emotions of the fans, but this is good for the fans, and they need to enjoy it and have a good time with it. But, you know, sometimes you have to be just sort of be about your business as you go along, you know, and sort of just kind of go from there. Like I said, our kids are excited about it. We try to stay pretty even keel week in and week out. But, you know, again, it's a great opportunity for our kids, and, you know, we've sort of been about our business like we've been in the past. Just a little, I mean, like we did last year. Just a little difficult. It's the last week for our senior guys to, you know, have a chance to play football here. So, you know, it's sort of been bittersweet on that note. But for the most part, man, we've been pretty much even keel and pretty much as business as usual.
Very good. Coach Etheridge, I want to bring you in and to lay a little bit more of a backdrop. I'm a lifer here, and I understand the series a lot. And if you look at the overall numbers, T.R. Miller leads the series. In the last 6 years, it's 3-3. In the last 12 years, I think it's 7-5 in favor of Miller. And I think you will find in history it's been the most competitive 12-year span between the two schools, certainly in my lifetime. So that being said, you know, I like to see T.R. Miller win the ball game, but when both teams are having success, it does kind of amp it up a little bit more. It does kind of juice it up a little more. That's what we're going to have tomorrow night at Municipal Stadium. Can't wait to get in there and watch both teams perform. But talk a little bit about how you approach rivalry games, and were you ever aware of the Miller-Neal game when you were at Leeds in Pell City?
Yes, I always wanted to come watch it. You know, you hear about the Battle of Murder Creek, and you hear about, you know, the great rivalries around the state of Alabama. I remember when Lineville and Clay County always played, you know, and W.S. Neal and T.R. Miller's right there in that same breath of those type of rivalries, you know, not huge schools, but middle-sized schools that, you know, just compete year in, year out, and you know, the communities just hinge on that game all year long, like Alabama, Auburn, or something like that of high school football. And, you know, I always want to come watch it, but you know, as a coach, you got to play on Friday night, so never really had the opportunity. And, you know, I'm just excited to get to coach in it, you know, against a coach like Coach Williams, you know, who we have a lot of respect for. And like Coach Williams said, you know, we just go about it, you know, like a regular week. You know, you try to emphasize the importance to the kids, to the community, to the schools, and you just try to, you know, we're going to take care of T.R. Miller and do what T.R. Miller does, and then just try to focus on T.R. Miller, and of course, get in there and coach a little bit on get the film work done and that type of thing on W.S. Neal. But we're just going to do what T.R. Miller does.
I tell you, this night, it's like we just talked about a moment ago, so special for the communities.
Yes.
A lot of time rivalry games, regardless if it's high school or even in the college level, the fans do put a lot of emphasis on it.
Right.
The coaches, do see it as another game. You got to go out, and do what you have to do to be successful. You've seen it here tonight. A lot of houses divided.
Right.
A lot of houses divided in our two communities. This is one of those nights where you have to put on your red or you have to put on your blue. You have to get on your respective side, and for 3.5 hours, we're going to go at it. And then when it's over with, we're going to congratulate each other, pat each other on the back, and wait and do it again next year. I really think it is one of the special rivalries in the state with the logistics and the dynamics the way they are in education in general. You see a lot of rivalries go away, whether it's different classifications, whether schools merge. But in our area in Southwest Alabama, especially, I think you'd be hard pressed to find something as passionate, as competitive as the Battle of Murder Creek. It's just two good football teams year in and year out. And one of the things that's always amazed me, and I had the honor and the privilege of playing in a couple of them, is how hard the kids are going to play tomorrow night.
Absolutely.
And I'm not saying they haven't played hard all year. They have. But you're going to see effort tomorrow night from both teams that will be just off the chain. I mean, everybody's going to lay it out there. It means something. You're going to have dads, you're going to have granddads, uncles, brothers who've all participated in it, giving those pep talks, at the morning they leave for school. So it certainly will be exciting. And Coach Williams, I want to come back to you real quick and trying to get you guys in and get you going. I know you have a lot going on tonight in other areas, but talk a little bit about some of the things, without getting too specific, some of the things that W.S. Neal needs to do to have a chance to win the ball game tomorrow. What are some of the things, some of the key points you've put an emphasis on this week?
Main thing is, like any coach would tell you, is block and tackle well. If we can give ourselves an opportunity to take care of the ball through the course of a game, that's going to be a lot of times it's different in the game. I know Coach agree with me on that. If you block pretty good and you take care of the ball, you're giving yourself a chance. And then at the other end of the spectrum is play great defense. So I think it'll be we're going to limit the big plays, for us from the defense standpoint. Try to create some turnovers from the defense standpoint, and then try to take care of the ball offensively and try to block and tackle. Overall.
Very good. Coach Etheridge, want to bring you back, and of course, we've talked throughout the course of the year the different regions that both of you guys play in. Coach Williams there in 4A, Region 1 is blood in, blood out. Absolutely. The region T.R. Miller is blood in and blood out. I mean, we knew going in there would be good football teams that would not be playoff eligible. That's been the case throughout the season. Talk a little bit about T.R. Miller hitting a tough patch here late, but then having this rivalry game to kind of create not that excitement necessarily need to be created, but you don't have to talk somebody into being excited about this one. Talk about having this game leading into the playoffs. You have qualified for the playoffs, and once again, congratulations on that. Of course, missed it last year, but talk a little bit about having this game kind of help get the juice back going, get the blood flowing through the body again.
It's going to be a playoff atmosphere, because it's such a huge rivalry, and the kids are going to, like you said, W.S. Neal and T.R. Miller kids are going to play harder in this game than you've probably seen them play all year, simply because it is the Battle of Murder Creek. You get a playoff atmosphere the week before playoffs, which usually helps out a lot. But you just want you want to stay injury free going into the playoffs. But with a game like this, you got to lay it all out there and just try to win. And I know Coach is going to have his guys ready to play, and we're going to have our guys ready to play, and it's going to be a great football game. And it's one of those rivalries that's a clean rivalry. I got a lot of respect for Coach Williams. Got a lot of respect for Mr. Hodge, who's the new principal over there. Me and Mr. Hodge has worked together for a couple of years, and just there's not any better people than those guys. And it's going to be fun Friday night.
Before I turn you two coaches loose, I want to take just a couple of minutes and go through the sponsors who have made not only this program possible, but the program throughout the season, the game broadcast throughout the year for both schools. Without that support, we wouldn't be able to do what we do, and want to take a few minutes to recognize them if we can. United Bank with Lauren Yoder. Thank you so much, Lauren, for being a part of this. Bruton Mill Federal Credit Union, Linda Williamson, our point of contact there. Thank you so much, Linda. Horton's Insurance there in East Bruton, Keith and Earl Horton, longtime supporters of athletics in our school systems. Thank you so much much, Keith and Earl. Camp 31 Barbecue, our host here tonight. Larry Murphy, so good to be a part of this. South Alabama Kubota Sales and Rental there in the square in Monroeville. Mike Sheffield, our point of contact there locally. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Main Street Family Urgent Care, James Furniture there in East Bruton, Jesse Rigby. So good to sign up. He was one of the first ones to get on board and wanted to be in. Thank you so much, Jesse. Cheryl Lawn Care, Michael Cheryl, a T.R. Miller alum. Thank you so much, Michael, for being a part and supporting both schools. Bruton Animal Hospital, located here in the middle of town. Hal Noble, who also serves your quarterback club president.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Hal, for being on board. George's Barbecue, Jason Castleberry, actually a classmate of mine. I appreciate Jason being on board and being supportive of both our schools and the athletic teams. David's Catfish, who's our co-host throughout this. Josh Godwin, been so supportive, always has been, always will be. Thank you so much, Josh. State Farm Insurance with Wendy Fulmer. Thank you so much, Wendy. Subway here in Bruton, Pam and Victor Ray, owner-operators. Thank you so much, Pam and Victor, for being on board and being supportive. English Realty, Sandy and Michael English here in town, long-time realty agency in town. If you have rental needs or want to sell, want to buy, they will certainly take good care of you. They sold me my house, took good care of me. So I want to thank Michael and Sandy for all they do. Medical Center Pharmacy with Danny Cottrell. Thank you so much, Danny. Juniper Creek, the golf course north of town. You know, if you're an avid golfer, you won't find a better course in a 100-mile radius. They have a great package set up out there. Ricky Stanley, Mike Thompson, need to give them a holler and check them out. The City of Bruton, the City of Bruton Gas Department, Emerald Coast All Purpose LLC, Reed Joyner, lives in Destin, Florida, has a business. He operates out of Destin, chose to support both schools and be a part of that. He's a T.R. Miller alum. Certainly appreciate Reed. If you have coastal property and need a repair or remodel, give Reed Joyner a phone call. He'll take really good care of you. Peach Ford, Peach Chevrolet, can't say enough good things about Chip and all that he does to support. Encore Rehabilitation, of course, providing our trainers at both schools, taking care of all of our student athletes. D.W. McMillan Ambulance Service, Bruton Package there in the Alco Plaza, Sarju Patel. So good to be supportive of this program and these two teams. Comfort Care Hospice and the Yancey Jernigan Foundation. New Better You with Jerry Halsey has a lot of good products, a lot of good ideas on nutrition and making better food choices. Give Jerry Halsey a call. He has a lot of interesting things and opportunities for you. Country Express, Raj Palmer, another friend of BMP and a friend of our schools, has two locations, one on the 4-lane going out of town and one in the middle of town in Bruton on Highway 31 across from Alabama Power. Give Raj Palmer a look at what he has. That crispy country chicken is what he has at his delis, and if you hadn't had it, it's pretty addicting. So thank you, Raj. DJ's Paint and Body there in East Bruton, Daniel and Tanya Jondren, thank you so much for being on board. And then Vance Kilgore with Hartman Blackman Kilgore, in and supportive, and I know I speak for both of you in thanking all these people because their support and what they offer helps fund and helps take care of some of the costs associated with the athletic departments.
Absolutely. Appreciate them all year.
Exactly.
All right, well, we're going to kind of transition into the next segment. I certainly appreciate, and I can't say this enough, how much fun it has been for me to be with both you guys in this capacity throughout the season. And y'all first-class guys. I don't think that can be said enough, can't be reiterated enough. Look forward to watching both your teams compete tomorrow. Wish you the best of luck in the world. Everybody stays free from injury and ready to get it on the Battle of Murder Creek.
Thank y'all, DJ.
Man, appreciate what y'all do.
Yes,
thank you so much, Coach.
Thank
you so much, Coach.
Appreciate y'all. Yes, sir. See you tomorrow, Coach.
Coming in now, we will have Matt Hodge, the principal at WS Neal. Yes, sir. And Doug Garrity, assistant principal at T.R. Miller, and kind of talk to them a little bit about this week on campus. Of course, the game. May get some predictions from them before it's all said and done, so make sure you stay with us. We will not be going to commercial. We'll just transition as best we can. And, Matt, you ready? Yes, sir. We're up. Bringing in Doug Garrity, the assistant principal at T.R. Miller. Matt Hodge, principal at W.S. Neal High School, year one. Welcome, guys. Thanks for being here. I think I gave you maybe a half a day's notice. Maybe?
No, I think it was less than that.
That sounds about right.
That's all good. It's all good. We roll with the punches.
We're an ish company, and we kind of get this thing going as we can, but we certainly appreciate you being here, and we'll start with Principal Matt Hodge at WS Neal, year one on campus there at WS Neal, into 10 weeks. If you want to get a school year going, start football season. I can't believe we're already in week 10 here. Talk a little bit about your experience at this point at WS Neal throughout the football season, and if you will, how it's been specifically this week on campus with the Battle of Murder Creek on the horizon.
Well, when I first got here, everybody told me about this week, and I had absolutely no clue. My students have had an absolute wonderful time this week with the Miller Neal Week, going through the school with the different dress-up days, etc. But it's been all wonderful experience. Kids are well behaved. They're enjoying every minute of it. It's good, clean humor. And I haven't seen anything negative about it. Now, the first year at the school, like you said, being 10 weeks into it, it's amazing. I can't believe we've already had report cards go out. We're sending home progress reports, parents. We're sending home progress reports on Monday. But it's just been a wonderful time. Everybody in the community has just welcomed me, bought into everything that we're trying to do at the school, and we're just having a great time.
Awesome. Mr. Garrity going to bring you in, and I'm sure things have been low-key, nothing going on the campus of T.R. Miller.
Absolutely. It's so quiet there.
I have to ask you this because you succumbed to the same fate I did at homecoming in terms of a little decoration in the trees and bushes.
Yes.
Has it been quiet on Bonita this week?
It has been quiet. There's no growth of toilet paper throughout my trees, although I haven't been home today, so you never know. But it's been a great week. Same with us. We've had dress-up days. The kids have been great. They're enthusiastic. Looking forward to a big pep rally tomorrow. And I'd be remiss without mentioning that it's been a very busy week because, as you know, and the coaches probably talked about it, volleyball team went to state.
Yeah.
And today we learned, of course, our cross-country boys and girls took first place, and sectionals going to state, and it's just been a great week for T.R. Miller High School, and I'm hoping it'll continue tomorrow.
Very good. Matt, I want to bring you back in and talk a little bit. You've been in administration at several different schools for several years. Talk a little bit about the role of athletics and how important it is to have a strong athletic program, especially having a strong leader like Andrew Williams in place, about the role that athletics plays just in the schoolhouse in general.
Well, everywhere I've been, from whether it was a teacher coach to an assistant principal, athletic director, principal, your athletes, your cheerleaders, your band, those are the core students that make the schoolhouse run. And so if you have successful programs, you're going to have successful schools. I have said that from day one. We're building something great. If you look at our record right now, football-wise, it's not what we want it to be, but I'm watching growth, progress with these athletes. I watch them walk the hallways as proud as if they were, 7-0 versus the 1-7. That record means nothing for tomorrow night. And I'm going to tell you right now, I keep saying it and it sounds redundant, but great things are happening at Neal, and people are noticing. Community is talking, and I wish everybody would come and see what's happening in my hallways because they are fantastic.
We appreciate that open invitation, and I'm going to take you up on it. You've
I've invited you before.
It has not worked out, but I am going to take you up on that and excited about.
You're an extra large, right?
Medium.
You're medium. Gotcha.
and you have some coaching background as well. You were a teacher coach before you got into administration, so you kind of understand the things there and the dynamics that go into trying to run an athletic department.
Yes, I was very fortunate for the head coaches that I was involved with to let me just be a part of their program. I was kind of that utility coach, go do this, go do that. Wrestling is my background, but football, baseball, cross country, I've done that all. And so being the assistant athletic director at Pell City High School for Keith Etheridge, I got a real big understanding of how athletics are run and the need and the importance for them to be successful.
Very good. Doug, I want to bring you back in, and of course, Coach Keith Etheridge here in year one. Speak a little bit to what he has brought to T.R. Miller's campus, the energy he's infused. It's infectious. I mean, if you get around Keith Etheridge and what he brings, there's no doubt that we're a better campus, a better school, just having him there, not to mention the people he's brought with him.
Correct. With Coach Etheridge, it's not just about football. It's more about teaching young men how to be men, and the character he brings through himself and the way he presents himself. And I can tell as an assistant principal, he and I work together with his students, and he brings a positive energy to us. We're very blessed to have him, and I think he is truly embracing the Miller culture.
I'm going to say this because you've had, in my opinion, a special challenge the last couple of weeks. Ryan Snell, having a great opportunity over in the Wiregrass. We certainly wish him well.
Absolutely.
With him transitioning out, you pretty much have it. I mean, not only the assistant principal responsibilities, but also the responsibilities that would fall to the principal. And I know that you've had some good people helping you as well with that. Keith Etheridge probably being one of them in some areas, but you've done an outstanding job making sure that T.R. Miller Miller has to keep going regardless of who's there or who's not there. And we certainly appreciate your effort and everything that you've done to make sure that this year, this experience has been what it's supposed to be for this year's students.
Absolutely, and thank you for that. The most important thing are the kids, and I want this week to be great for them. And I've already contacted Mr. Hodge about some issues, and I want to work closely with Neil to always make sure that we get along. This is a great week, and by the way, don't want anything thrown at me by my Miller fans, but great band at Dixieland. Neil's band is terrific. So we share everything, and I think Coach Etheridge realizes that. Our boys play together at a younger age, so there are young ladies. So it's a good relationship, and I hope we have a great game tomorrow.
And I spoke about this with the coaches, and I think it's going to be on display again tomorrow night. This is the one night of the year you have to put on your blue, you have to put on your red. We've got to get on opposite sides, and we've got to go at it. That's what we want to do. That's what we're going to do. But when it's over with, you shake hands. You hurt a little bit if you're on the short side of it. But we're going to do it again next year. And I can't say this enough. I think it's the best rivalry in all of high school football. I really do. I've had a chance to play in a couple of them. I've watched dozens others. And I said this when Coach was here a moment ago, when the coaches were here a moment ago, the effort you're going to see tomorrow by these young men, you will be in awe of. I mean, you will see people tomorrow doing things that they have not been able to do, not because they haven't been trying. It'll just mean that much to them. You're born into this thing. It's going to be a cleanly played game. It's going to be a hard-fought game. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody's in for a real treat that chooses to come up and watch it, and I expect it to be a stadium full.
You're absolutely right. And you remember AL.com and all the other surveys on what's the best rivalry. This is the best rivalry in the state.
As an educator now, as the head cheese there at the school, do you set a different pace on a juiced up week like this? Everybody's obviously excited. There's been a lot of enthusiasm on campus. Is the leash a little longer? Do you have to crack down a little more to make sure it doesn't get out of hand? What's the mindset there as a principal?
Well, I've been watching that. I pulled my assistant in, Coy Campbell, who does a fantastic job with me. When I walked in, he just, he shook my hand and said, well, how can I help? But I have not experienced this week, and so I asked him, what are we going to see? And we haven't seen any problems. I haven't had to loosen the leash. I haven't had to tighten the leash. Everybody's in the classroom doing the academics. They're in the hallways transitioning the way they're supposed to. But they're having a great time doing it. And we're, again, excited for the pep rally tomorrow. We're excited for the game. And, Coach Etheridge and I saw each other earlier this morning. And basically we said we're going to meet at the 50-yard line, hug before the game and hug after the game. And we'll see what happens.
That's awesome. I let the coaches off the hook for obvious reasons. Being the head coaches, they got other things they have to do and get ready for tomorrow night's kickoff. I'm not with you two guys. It's prediction time from this point forward. Everybody that comes up, I'm getting predictions. The visitors in tomorrow night's game will be the W.S. Neal Blue Eagles. So I'm going to start with Principal Matt Hodge. Who's going to win the game tomorrow, and what's the score going to be?
Well, there's no doubt we're going to win the game tomorrow. It's going to be pretty similar to the LSU-Alabama game.
I'm with you on that.
I'm going to give my Neal Eagles, I'm going to give them a -7. But we're going to go 7+ on y'all.
+7. Okay. All right. How about you? What's the final score going to be?
I agree with almost everything you said, except the big part. Miller's going to win, and I think it's actually going to be a good defensive game. So if I had to pick a score, I would say Miller 21-7 over Neal.
Well, I am shocked. The man in the blue picked W.S. Neal. The man in the red picks T.R. Miller. I got a feeling that's going to be a trend as we move through the rest of the night. But certainly appreciate both of y'all spending some time with us, taking some time out to come up here. Certainly look forward to both your student bodies being on display for everybody to see tomorrow night.
Well, I want to say one shout out before I go to my young men, my ladies, the cheerleaders, the band. This week isn't just a football week. It is a students coming together week, and the Neal students have come together. I'm excited to see them. Miss Kelly Grace, our cheerleading sponsor, Miss Waller, our band, to Coach Williams. I think everyone is prepped. Everybody is ready. And if you're coming out, if you bought one of those tickets, you're going to see a pretty spectacular showing across the board.
Very good. What time's the pep rally tomorrow?
Actually, I don't even know. I think we're going to do it at 7, but we haven't really a seventh period. So
seventh period. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be 1:30 to 3.
Okay. Pep rally at T.R. Miller tomorrow as well.
Yes, sir. Seventh period as well.
Seventh period. Okay. The community's welcome. I'm assuming.
Absolutely.
I'm getting a lot of requests here.
My door is wide open anytime.
Awesome. There you have it. Guys, thank you so much for coming and being with us.
You.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
We're now going to transition and bring in the captain and co-captain cheerleaders from W.S. Neal High School. If you'll just continue to be patient, we will get them up here and have a chance to visit with them. For those of you that are still in with us, we'd love to see your predictions on the game for tomorrow night. Feel free to post what you think the score is going to be and who's going to win. Right here, baby. All right. Joining us now, make sure the mouthpiece is down in front. Make sure the mouthpiece is very good. Joining us now here at Camp 31, the captain of the W.S. Neal cheerleading squad, Ariana Collins. Welcome. And our co-captain, Mackenzie Jackson. Thanks for being with us here tonight. Both of you guys, of course, one's a senior. Who's a senior?
Me.
Senior, and you're a junior. Okay, so I'm going to start with the senior. Going through it for the last time. Talk a little bit about how many years you've been a cheerleader. Talk about some of the responsibilities of being on the cheerleading team. And also talk a little bit about that mean coach, Coach Kelly Grace.
Ooh, okay. Well, I've been on the cheerleading squad at the high school for 3 years, and before that, I've been cheering probably since 2nd grade. With captain comes a lot of responsibilities, but honestly, I wouldn't be able to get any of that done without Mackenzie. And I'm not going to say Miss Kelly's mean.
A little demanding during the summer and during for camp, right?
Oh yeah. We had a lot of stuff that had to be done in order to go to camp. We worked really hard, and we stayed in the gym practicing a lot.
What are some of the other activities you're involved in at W.S. Neal in addition to being a cheerleader?
I'm a part of Key Club. This year I haven't done as much as I should.
Going to enjoy that senior year.
Yeah, and this takes up a good bit of my time.
Going to bring in Mackenzie, and of course, Mackenzie, once again, thank you for being here with us, and talk a little bit about when you, as a young girl, when you thought you might want to be a cheerleader at W.S. Neal. Has it been the experience you thought it would be, and some of the things that are most favorite to you in being a cheerleader at W.S. Neal?
I started cheering when I was in 7th grade. I never cheered in Little League or anything like that, but it's really been fun.
How fast has the football season gone by? I mean, it seems like we just started, yesterday. Maybe not for you guys, because a lot of people don't recognize the work that our cheerleaders put in during the course of the week, whether it's learning new routines, whether it's making signs, making the mural for the team to run through or whatnot. A lot of y'all's work is done behind the scenes, so to speak, in the gym, painting, things of that nature. But talk about some of the things that y'all are responsible for leading into game week.
We're responsible for the themes for each day this week. Like Monday we did Hunt the Tigers. Tuesday was Make the Tigers See Double. Wednesday we all spooked the Tigers with our Halloween costumes.
What'd you dress up as?
I was a softball player.
How about you?
I think I was a softball player too.
Okay.
Today we outclassed the Tigers, and tomorrow we plan on whiting out the Tigers and wearing all white for our Black Light Pep Rally.
Special routine set up for the pep rally tomorrow?
Definitely.
Any heads up on what it may be? You've got to come and see.
Come see. It will be a surprise.
What are your plans? You're, of course, a senior. Of course, Mackenzie's going to be back with us next year as a senior. What are your plans after graduation?
I really want to go to UWA for a couple years and be closer to my sister, because she goes there and she's a majorette. And I plan on trying out for the cheerleading team.
Awesome.
And hopefully becoming a nurse, and then later go into school to be a travel nurse.
Got it all figured out. I love it.
Yeah.
Good luck in all that.
Thank you.
All right. I said with our principals, I'll tell you what, let's talk about our coaches and principals just for a minute. Coach Andrew Williams has been here now for 2 years. Principal Matt Hodge here for 1. Talk a little bit about them and what your opinions are of both those guys.
I think when Coach Williams came, we don't really see him as much because he's not in classrooms and stuff with us, but I think he really brought a lot of spirit to the school when he came, and also Mr. Hodge brought a lot too.
Pretty high energetic guy, is he not?
Yes, he is.
What about you? What do you think about the coach?
Everybody likes Coach Williams, and so far Mr. Hodge is a big hit at Neal. They love him. Very
good. Everybody that comes up, I get their prediction on the game, score, who's going to win. I got a feeling I know which way this is going to go, but give me a score. What's the score going to be tomorrow night?
I think it'll be a close score, probably 6 points apart, and 20 somewhere.
Okay. How about you?
I don't know. I'm saying Hopefully 28-14, 28-0.
28-0. Okay, all right. Here's what I'm talking about. Get out there, Ariana. 28-0. Okay, very good. Well, we appreciate both you young ladies coming and being with us tonight. Certainly look forward to watching you lead the Spirit there on the WS Neal sidelines tomorrow night, and I hope tomorrow's a big day for everybody, and look forward to seeing y'all at the game.
Thank you.
Thank y'all so much for being here. Now we're going to bring up the T.R. Miller cheerleaders. I think we'll have 3 seniors joining us. Is this mic going to be hot? I need to get one more chair. Don't worry about the headsets. We're going to use the microphone. Are we hot here? Got one here. Are we missing one? Is it just us?
Coach Johnson's coming up here, though.
Do what?
Coach Johnson's coming up here. Hannah had to work.
Okay. Hannah had to work. Okay. So joining us now, we have Kadeja Askew. I'm going to let you hold this. We only have 2. I'll tell you what, go and put your headset on. Headset, that'll be fine. We'll use headsets.
Which way? I think so.
That is the way, yeah. That way. And just make sure your mouthpiece is down in front.
Okay.
We good?
I think so.
We have Kadeja Askew and Mallory Floyd, 2 of our 3 senior cheerleaders here at T.R. Miller. Thank you for coming up and being a part of tonight. We appreciate you taking a little time out to come and do that. And Mallory, I'll start with you. You're on my left. Talk a little bit about this week. Miller Neal Week's always a spirited time on both campuses. Talk about how it's been at T.R. Miller.
Well, this week has been a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to be there on Tuesday or Wednesday because we had volleyball state.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But today was, of course, my favorite day. We call it Hick Day, so everybody got to dress as country as they could, so it was a lot of fun.
Very good. Going to bring Kadeja in. Of course, Kadeja, I have to say this. You were our homecoming queen this past year. You looked beautiful during the crowning ceremony. So proud of you and your entire high school career, and you made a beautiful queen at T.R. Miller. Congratulations on that.
Thank you very much.
Talk a little bit about being a senior, going through the Battle of Murder Creek Miller Neal Week one more time. Talk about the experience in general the last 3 or 4 years and how that's gone.
It's very emotional this last year because, I'm going to miss high school in this battle. Next year I'm going to be very happy to be an alumni and come back and experience it. But it's been very fun this week. It's been a long week. We haven't really been able to do much because we've been doing a lot of other things during the school week. Like we had the cross-country sectionals today, so they weren't here today. So it's been a very great week.
I've been saying this for years, that the best athletes at T.R. Miller are girls. And they have been for 6 or 8 years. I'm going to share this story about you and Mallory. You may not remember this. I, along with your dad, coached you in flag football at the YMCA years ago. You were probably 6, maybe 7. I'm not going to name the young man's name tonight, maybe later. But I want to say this. Flag football, we're getting torched at halftime. This little guy has worn us out. Nobody gets close to him. I'm the defensive coordinator. Robbie's the offensive coordinator and the head coach. And I went to the toughest player we had, and I said, we have got to slow down so-and-so. The first time he gets it, I want him on the ground. And you know who I gave the order the code red? I gave it to Mallory. And you ate him up. And he was no longer a factor the rest of the night. We came back and won. That's one of my greatest coaching memories and moments in the history of recreational sports. But been saying that, you were on the volleyball team that went back to the state tournament the 3rd or 4th year in a row. Of course, you play softball as well. Looking forward to that coming up. Talk about your experience at T.R. Miller, the different things you've been involved in, the coaches you've had, and the impact they've had on you as a person.
Well, my personal opinion is that there's no other place like T.R. Miller, so sports here are really special. I have gone through, I think, 3 or 4 different softball coaches. Had Coach White for 7th and 8th grade. In 9th grade, we had Coach Peacock, who is now Coach Thompson. Then 10th and 11th grade, we had Coach Baker, who is no longer with us. And this year, Coach Lynch, who was our assistant last year, is finally the head coach. So we're expecting a really great season this year. Volleyball, Coach Thompson has been one of the best volleyball coaches that I've ever had. Ever since ninth grade, she put me on varsity, and we have gone to state 4 years in a row. She makes the best plays and has the best systems for us to run, so that's always been pretty successful. But we had a great season. It ended on Wednesday, sadly, but we had a good run this year.
Very good. Kadasia, talk a little bit about, if we can, fast forward to graduation, and for those out there that may want to keep up with you in the future, what are some of the things you're looking forward to getting into after graduation, what you might be doing?
After graduation, I would like to go to UAB in nursing. So, anybody need a doctor? I can be your doctor, but I'm ready for graduation. I think that it will be a great experience for me to be able to walk across the stage and see everybody that's proud of me and glad that I accomplished the things that I accomplished during high school. But I think that it's going to be bittersweet when we leave.
Absolutely. How about you, Mallory? What might you be doing next year?
Well, I'm going to the University of Alabama.
Okay.
And I'm going to major in pre-dentistry. And once I finish that, I'll probably transfer to UAB to go to dentistry school. So it'll be a long road of more school, but that's okay.
That's okay. You're cut out for it. Let me ask you this, and I asked this of your counterparts at WS Neal. Talk about Coach Etheridge being here in year one, the energy that he's brought into the campus, how supportive he's been of the cheerleader squad, the other athletic teams that we have on campus. Talk about what your impressions and how you feel about Coach Etheridge.
I love Coach Etheridge. He's a wonderful coach. Like, he's always in the hallways, encourage us to do good in school. Like, if we don't do good in school, there's no sports. You have to have school before sports. He's the best coach ever.
Mallory, I often think if he ever looked over his shoulder and saw you throwing the little footballs after touchdowns, that he might have gotten you out there to throw the big one on a couple of third and long situations.
We saved that for Powder Puff.
For Powder
Puff.
Very good. Okay, I've asked this for everybody that's come up here. What's the score going to be tomorrow night, and who's going to win?
Of course, you know that I'm going to side with our Tigers because I love them dearly. But I think it'll be a close game. I'm thinking more of like 21, maybe not 14, because I feel like they might get a few kicks or whatever those are called in. I'm not very sure. My football terminology is not the best, but I think we'll at least have 21.
Okay, how about you, Kadasia?
I'm going to side with our Tigers. Go Miller. And I think the score would be Miller have around 28. And for Neal, I think they'll be right behind us. But 14.
28-14. There you have it. All right, well, ladies, we appreciate y'all coming up and being with us tonight. Look forward to watching you tomorrow at the Battle of Murder Creek, doing it for the last time for this week, and, of course, the playoffs starting the following week. But thank y'all for spending some time with us.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you so much. Mallory Floyd and Kadasia Askew, T.R. Miller senior cheerleaders. We're now going to transition and bring up the WS Neal football seniors. We'll have to bring in a few more chairs. WS Neal, Mateo, all y'all, everybody. Grab some chairs. We all just going to pile up in here and use this microphone. You want to help me bring some chairs? How many of you got? How many seniors do we have? Grab a couple of chairs, Matt. Hey, grab this one right here. Cam, let's use that chair right there. Everybody bring a chair. We'll pile up in here. We're going to We're going to pass this microphone around as we talk. How many do we? Is this everybody? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that all we have here?
Hey. B, get a chair.
Yeah, come on in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We'll take our time and do it right. I think there's chairs over here. I'll tell you what, let's slide around a little bit. Oh, he's coming this way. We'll go back. Sorry. Matt, come back just a little bit. Tell you what, get right here between them. Put that chair right here. You stay right there, and I think that'll come pretty close to catching everybody. We're going to start down here on this end, and then we'll pass it around as we go. We're going to start with you, big man. We need name and position that we play.
I'm Taylor Fountain, and play tight end.
Just pass it all the way around the horn.
Brendan Jenkins, linebacker.
Matthew Thomas, quarterback.
Mateo Smith, defensive end.
Hold it. You know my son.
What's your son?
Stokes.
Stokes.
Jennings.
Oh, yes. Concussion.
Knocked him out.
Wyatt Hunley, center, defensive tackle. Victor Baylor, defensive end.
Ty Williams, defensive end.
Very good. Pass it back here, and I'm going to start with Matt. And Matt, you're the quarterback, and of course a senior. You had the big win last year over at Blue Eagle Stadium over the Tigers, doing it again for the last time tonight, coming over to Municipal Stadium this year. Talk a little bit about the experience just playing for the WS Neal Blue Eagles and the emotions going through it for the last time.
Yeah, I think last year's game helped me a lot, knowing how big of a stage it's going to be for me and to represent my team. Most of the seniors have a lot of experience last year, so I think that's going to help carrying on into tomorrow's game. And, this is our last game of the season, last game of my high school career, last high school career game for them. So, we're going to go. We're going to do our best. We're going to try to get the win tomorrow night.
Very good. Mateo going to bring you in. Of course, you're one of the leaders on the football team and one of the great players there at Neal for the last several years. I've certainly enjoyed watching you play and have all the respect in the world for you. Talk about being a senior. So many great players on last year's team that graduated. Some of those leadership roles fall into you guys. And talk a little bit about that and kind of going through it for the last time and just putting on that WS Neal football jersey.
Yes, sir. The seniors last year, they were good leaders, excellent football players. They taught me a lot, instilled a lot into me. I didn't think it was going to be as hard as it is being the senior captain leader on the field, but I think I did a pretty good job telling the boys showing them how to be a good athlete, good role model. It's a teary-eyed moment putting on the uniform last time, but I know we'll go out here and we'll fight.
Very good, very good. I'm going to start back down here again. If you'll hold this, and of course, one of the things that I've said with everybody we've had up here and years and years ago, I actually played in this game myself, and I understand some of the emotions that you guys are going through as well as your counterparts at T.R. Miller. And one of the things I know will be on display, and I've watched 30 of these games, is how hard everybody's going to play. You lay it out there. You're playing for your community. You have your blue and gold on. You have your red and black on. And when the referee blows that whistle, it's blood in and blood out at that point. And I've always been in awe of watching so many competitors down through the years and how hard they've played. I know it's going to be on display tomorrow. I can't wait to watch it. I love this week every year and looking forward to it. And I want to start down here a little bit. Talk about Coach Andrew Williams here in year 2 and talk about the person he has been to you, the impact he might have had on you, not necessarily as a football player, but just as a person.
Oh, yeah, man. Coach he's a great guy. He knows the game, knows what he's talking about. He's helped me with a lot of life situations. He's just a great guy.
Very good. I want to bring in one here real quick and talk a little bit about, tomorrow's it. Didn't quite get qualified for the playoffs this year. Matt said a little bit earlier, this will be the last high school football game anyway. Maybe some of you guys have an opportunity to go on and play at another level. Tomorrow's the last night playing high school football of your life. It'll be the last time you put on that WS Neal football jersey for forever. And forever's a long time. Talk a little bit about that and some of the emotions that you have and how excited you are to get out and get it on one more time for WS Neal.
It's a bittersweet moment. Something that we've all been waiting on for a while, but something that we kind of all have not been waiting on for a while.
Sure.
But going through this week, the energy, excitement that has built up, I feel like we all will take it very well, and we're going to enjoy it a whole lot.
Very good. Well said. I want to bring you in, big man, and I've followed y'all's season week by week, and it's been crazy how y'all's games have played out. At halftime, you're right there, have a lead, a one-score game, whatever it's been. The second half, for one reason or another, the ball's not bounced your way, things haven't gone your way, but the way you guys have been able to each week to get up and fight. The UMS, I think it was 14-0 going to the fourth quarter. They're the defending 4A champs. They're one of the best teams in the state of Alabama, regardless of classification. And you went toe-to-toe with them for 3 quarters, and they, put a couple on late to make it what it was. But talk a little bit about the season, about maybe dealing with the frustration of being so close so many times and it just not quite going your way.
It's been a good season. We've had up and downs here and there, but I'm not going to put no blame on anybody. It was all of us. We all went through it. We all made mistakes, mental and physically, but we had a good time.
Very good. Bring in 6-0 real quick. Want to talk a little bit about, y'all are 4A Region 1, and I dare say, in 4A classification, that there's many teams with a senior class of 7. I mean, most of them usually have 17. Most of them have 20. The numbers not large, but talk about being with these guys. You know, being in the war with these guys, being in the locker room, and battling with these guys down through the years, and how close knit y'all are as a group, and what it means just to play with them each Friday night.
I mean, playing with these guys right here, they like my brothers, and being out there on the field with them every day, see them playing, hitting every day, feel great.
Very good. Well said also. 5 going to bring you in and kind of along those same lines, doing it for the last time tomorrow. You're going to wake up in the morning and you're going to be a WSNL football player for the last time in your life tomorrow. Talk a little bit about the experience, talk a little bit about the emotion, and talk a little bit about doing it with these guys one more time.
I mean, I've been with these guys since we were 5 or 6 years old, and I mean, we've all grown together, played together, so we all know our nicks and crannies, I guess you would say.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not really ready for it to be over with. But,
sure.
I mean, it's just something that I'm going to have to deal with.
Very well said. Going to bring Mateo back in, and we'll get it closed up and wrapped up here in just a second. Mateo, you guys coming over to Municipal Stadium this year. T.R. Miller, of course, went over last year, and I can tell you, you know, my senior year, we played over in East Brute and going across that bridge, and I would offer this up to each of you. You're going to feel some things coming across that bridge you have never felt in your life. Enjoy it. It's awesome. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Those people that don't get to have that, I feel sorry for them. You guys are going to have it. Somebody's going to win. Somebody's going to lose tomorrow. I would challenge everybody. I'm going to challenge these guys here in just a minute. Leave it all on the field. You're going through it, you know, one more time coming across that bridge, and if you could offer something up to the WSNL Nation, to the WSNL fan base in terms of coming over tomorrow to watch the game, what would be something that you would offer them?
I know tomorrow night we're going to have 22 guys on each side of the ball to come out there and fight for 4 quarters straight.
Very good. Well said, Matt. I'm going to close it out with you, and kind of along the same lines with Mateo. If you have a chance here to speak to the WSNL family and fan base, what would be something you would offer up in terms of getting them over here and buying a ticket and getting in that stadium?
I would just say kind of let them get in our shoes and see what we're going through, how this is our last battle in Murder Creek. This is our last chance to go against, you know, our rivals across the creek, and just seeing the emotions that we have playing our last game, playing against Miller for the last time. Just come and get the same excitement, same energy that we're going to give on the field, and just pack it out and come out and support.
Very good. Guys, I want to wish all of you good luck tomorrow. I can't wait to watch the game. I can't wait to watch you perform. I hope everybody stays free from injury. Hope everybody plays to the best of their ability, and however it shakes out, it's going to shake out. But I commend you for being a part of the football team. Commend you for being the student athletes you are at WSNL, and look forward to watching you guys tomorrow night. Thanks a lot for being here. Good luck. And don't stay out past curfew. WSNL now leaving. T.R. Miller will rotate in. Just bring chairs in, and we'll just kind of have to make it work, guys. We'll just sit wherever we can. Bring chairs in as we can. Let's try to get everybody in. I'll tell you what, Ken, I might get. I don't know if we might all need to stand with this bunch. You reckon? Oh, well, that won't do it. No, I'll tell you what. Let's do that. Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's slide up this. Everybody in the front row slide up. The other guy's filling behind us. Slide up, Big Ricky. Caleb, if you just want to stand behind us. Jalen, stand behind us. Come on in line. Come on in, Toby. Let's make sure this is going to work. We're going to pass the microphone around. Are we getting Christian on here? 86. Stand up right here. Right here. Are we getting Christian in? Christian? Yeah. Christian, if you will, come stand on this side, and y'all get in here kind of tight. On my left? Christian, I'm sorry, right here. We'll start here. And what we want to do is give our name and position that we play. Ho. Give me a test.
Yes.
Are we good on the mic?
My name is Mason Harrell. I'm number 37. I play fullback.
Pass it around the horn.
My name is Christian Bradley. I play nose guard.
My name is Hunter Johnson. I'm number 39. I play wide receiver and DB.
My name is Caleb Worth. I play offensive tackle.
Very good.
My name is Ricky Sammy. I play defensive tackle and offensive tackle.
Jalen Walker, DB, wide receiver.
Juan Jernigan, offensive line.
John Jeter, offensive guard, defensive tackle.
Jordan Hills, wide receiver.
Toby Jenkins, outside linebacker. Kadarius Jenkins, wide receiver.
Mikey Berrigan, running back.
Matt Smith, wide receiver, cornerback.
All right, we're going to start here, and we'll start here with Ricky, the big train. Ricky, you take this, and of course, you kind of have an experience that not many people do. You've played on both sides of this thing in the Battle of Murder Creek, played with Neil for a couple of years, playing a year or two with T.R. Miller. Talk a little bit about how you can appreciate both sides, the emotions that go into playing this game, and everything that kind of goes along with it.
Well, it's both really good experience. At Neil, it's a big rivalry at Neil, and it's a really big rivalry at Miller too. I mean, both teams are just. I mean, we're basically made for this because it's been going on all our lives, and I've seen basically all the Battle of Murder Creek games ever since I was young, and I always wanted to be a part of it, and it's a great feeling.
Very good. We're going to start down here with Mason, and we'll kind of go from there. Mason, talk about being a senior, being in the program at T.R. Miller, going through it for the last time. Just talk a little bit about how that's been and some of the things you're thinking.
Being a senior, man, it sucks. It's their last one. You know you want to play in a bunch of them. It's a really good feeling. There's not much like it. Being a senior, you got to step up and you got to lead the younger guys. You got to take them under your wing and show them what it's like. There's nothing else like it. It's a big game.
Very good. Bring in Hunter Johnson. He's one of my guys. And Hunter, I can tell you back in the summer, of course, had a leg injury at one of the 7-on-7 camps, which knocked you out, tore an ACL. Looking forward to you being back, hopefully healthy for baseball season. But I know what kind of competitor you are. I've had the pleasure of having you on a couple of my teams down through the years. I know how hard it has been for you not to be able to participate as a player, but I have watched you, and I've watched you on the sidelines be a leader. I've watched you be supportive as your teammates come off, and talk a little bit about that frustration of not being out there, if you would, and also talk about being able to fight through that and be a leader for this football team, because you are.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, it's been rough for the past year not being able to play my senior year with my brothers out there. But just being able to watch them and do the great things has been fun, because we're going out here to win a state championship every day. It's been fun to watch.
Very good. Bring in Christian Bradley. And Christian, you're like so many of these guys, you're one of my favorite people to watch play, just how hard you play. It is somewhat interesting that you and Dan Samuels play the same position. You and Dan are built a little different. Y'all don't necessarily look a lot alike, but y'all both bring something to the table, and y'all together make for a pretty tough blocking combination for offensive linemen. Talk about being in the trenches, sometimes being undersized, but how you use your athleticism to be effective.
I mean, well, sometimes it's hard because, you know, it's not always about the biggest man, but it's a man who has the biggest heart. And, like, just going hard, and I try to always go as hard as I can and go as hard as I can for my team and the people around me. You know, even when they do, like, down block on me sometimes, I'll just try to get off and just always get to the ball, you know, keep moving, stay moving, and just, you know, trying to make the play for the team.
Very good. I like the way you said that. Well said. If you will, bring in Caleb real quick. And, of course, Caleb, being a senior, going through it for the last time, talk about the Miller program. You've been in it now for 4 years. Talk about how quick it's gone by, and talk about some of the things that are kind of going through your mind as the clock continues to tick.
Yeah, it's been a real quick ride. I mean, I remember 8th grade, and Coach Riggs came in there asking who wants to join in the program, come in for spring training, and it seems like that was just a couple of days ago, but I've grown with all these boys all around me, and, you know, we had a couple new additions, but we're still part of a whole big family. I think we really worked together and became, you know, a solid team this year. And I'd die for one of these boys.
Very good. If you will, pass it. This is Jalen behind me. Jalen, you didn't know this, but we had you mic'd at the Hillcrest game, and we're going to release those tapes after the season. Going to do it late at night just because of some of the I'm teasing. But I've loved watching you play all year and the way you compete in that secondary, especially in pass defense. Talk a little bit about your experience at T.R. Miller, how you think you've grown as a player, the impact that Coach Etheridge has had on you this in his first year at T.R. Miller.
You know, me coming up as a freshman in ninth grade, I really didn't get much playing time. But coming up through the years, playing time came, and working with Coach T-Bird and everything. And then Coach Etheridge came, and he was an impact for me. He made me work harder. That's why I got the 6 interceptions I do now. And he's just been a great leader, man.
Very good. Going to bring in Lion Jernigan, and of course, Lion, senior offensive lineman, and you've kind of had an extra neat experience, I would think, this year, having your brother in the huddle, actually leading the huddle as a sophomore quarterback. Talk a little bit about playing for T.R. Miller, playing for these guys, but also having your brother out there.
It's a very cool experience. I mean, it's something not very many people can say they've done. So, and I mean, I've really enjoyed it. And I mean, I can look back on this as a great experience, but playing for everybody else is really the big thing for me. I say all of these guys are my brothers. It's not just one of my brother. And so that's what I believe.
Well said. Going to bring John Jeter in. Of course, John, you've played a lot here in your career at T.R. Miller as you've been healthy. Played some as a sophomore, played extensively last year, and of course, been one of the senior leaders here this year with these guys. Talk a little bit about your T.R. Miller experience, how fast it's gone by, and some of the things you're thinking about heading into the Battle of Murder Creek.
Oh, man, I've loved every minute of it. Coming up as a freshman, I remember Battle of Murder Creek not being really anything because I didn't get to do anything. But, I mean, I know now that looking back on it, it was one of the better experiences coming up younger and being able to watch it. It's taught me a lot and how important this is to the community, and you just got to love being the Miller Tiger.
Well said. Going to bring Jordan in, and Jordan, I'm so excited that you chose to play this year for a lot of reasons. One, you're a dang good high school football player. Two, the fact that you played and has been as good as you are. Juan moves down the list in terms of Johnsons that play football at T.R. Miller, the best Johnsons. Now you and TJ and BJ and everybody is ahead of him, and I, especially from a selfish standpoint, enjoy that. But it has been fun to watch you play. I think you have a pretty cool story about how you came out here. If I understand it correctly, it had to do with a game of horse or a game of one-on-one with Coach Shell. Talk a little bit about that and how you became a first-year sensation for T.R. Miller.
Oh, it started off like I came out to the football workouts, and then Coach Shell just kept on asking me. Then he was like,
you weren't going to play initially, right?
No, sir, I was not. Then he was like, I'll make a deal with you. He was like, if I beat you in the game of horse, then you got to play. And then if you win, then I'll just leave you alone.
And he beat you.
Yes, sir.
And basketball is actually your trade, correct? And Coach Shell went out there and got it done for the betterment of the Tigers. Well, I'm glad he won that game of horse because you have been a big boost to the Tiger offense. You've given us a nice receiving threat on the outside, and, of course, look forward to watching you play tomorrow night also. We'll bring in Toby real quick. Toby, another player that has come out this year after being out for a couple of years, had some leg injuries early in your career in the program. I think a knee injury, a dislocated kneecap a couple of times. Of course, your brother Tamarick, one of the great players to play here. Your mother Twissy, a classmate of mine, so that makes you family. But certainly enjoyed watching you play. I've heard the coaches rave about the leadership you have brought, the enthusiasm and the overall attitude that you bring to the locker room. And talk a little bit about doing that this your senior year.
I mean, you got to bring some leadership to the team if you want to have a great team, you know. If you want to be a good player, you got to have leadership. And if you don't have leadership, I mean, every great player has leadership. They play a role in the team. And I want my senior year to be great. I want to make a run for the playoffs and go to the championship and win it.
Very good. Well said. Going to bring in Kadarius real quick. If we can, let's go this way with it. Kadarius, you, like so many Miller players before you, didn't see early playing time in your career. You were kind of a work in progress. You had to put in a lot of work in the weight room, a lot of work on the practice field, but like so many before you, your senior year, you're kind of seeing some of that fruit from your labor, getting a lot of playing time, one of the starting wide receivers. Talk about that process, the grind, about hanging in there, staying in there, and how that helps you as a person, not only as a football player.
Sometimes it felt like when I first started, I wasn't getting many reps. I wanted to quit, but as I kept going, I started liking it more. And then when my time came, I just took the challenge and went for it. And it made me a better person by having me mentally focused the whole time.
Very good. Going to bring in Barragan real quick and talk a little bit about being a part of the Miller history, being a part of the Miller tradition, being a part of this Miller football team, but more specifically, being seniors with these guys.
Well, there's really much I can say for real.
That's okay. That's all right. That's not a problem. Not a problem. If you want to, we'll just go down to Matt real quick and kind of let Matt close this up. And Matt, once again, you've been in the program for a long time. Your brothers before you, of course, played here, so you understood the T.R. Miller program, the things were expected of you. Talk about Coach Etheridge, first-year coach, being here and what he's done and what he's brought to the program and some of the impacts he's had on you and the rest of the team.
Coach Etheridge's been amazing. Just like his energy he brings every practice, and even like the jokes that we pick on him all the time. It's just cool. I know sometimes you're not really need to go through 3 high school coaches, but it's different for every single one. And I think Coach Etheridge he really tops it off. He's just a fun guy. He really is, and he cares about every single one of us. And when you need something, he's right there for you. And it's just fun hanging with these guys all the time. And it's just they're brothers. I know it's used a lot, but it's basically what it is. And they're my guys.
Very good. Well said. Going to bring it back to Ricky, and we'll kind of wrap this up and move on with other stuff. But Ricky, it went W.S. Neal's way last year. Hard-fought ball game over at Blue Eagle Stadium. Got them back over at Municipal Stadium this year. Talk about having them over here one more time. A little bit of a revenge in place. Not that you need that to get juiced up for this game, but if you could send out a message to the T.R. Miller fan base and encourage them to come out, what are some of the things they can look forward to, and why should they come to the game tomorrow?
I already know these guys behind me right here. Everybody's going to play hard as they can. I mean, everybody's going to leave it all out there. This is our last W.S. Neal game. This is a really big game for us. Even though we're still going to the playoff, this is still a really big game for us. And I feel like we need this game. And I know we're all going to play hard. They're a really good team, so it's going to be a good game. And we're going to play, and we're going to give it all we got.
Very good. I'm going to leave you with this, like I did your counterparts at W.S. Neal. Tomorrow will be a day you'll remember the rest of your lives. Most of you, your football career will end when the playoffs end in 5 weeks, hopefully in the state championship game, but it will come to an end. There is a shelf life for everybody, and I would encourage you to enjoy tomorrow. There's going to be a lot of emotions going through you. Enjoy every one of them. Take them all in. Enjoy being with your teammates. Enjoy being with your seniors. If you get a chance, play for Hunter Johnson. He'd give anything to be out there with you. Keep that and put him in your heart, and let it sit there for a while. I wish you all the best of luck. I hope everybody stays injury-free, and cannot wait to watch y'all play tomorrow night. Good luck. Thanks for being here. Well, there you have it. We've talked to the coaches. We've talked to the principals. We've talked to the players. We've talked to the cheerleaders. It's about time to stop talking and get to hitting, and that's what's going to happen tomorrow night at Municipal Stadium at 7 o'clock. Gates will open at 5. Yeah, come on. We're not done. We are not done. Come here. Come here. You want to talk in that one, or do you want this one so you can hear? You want this one? All right. Where's AJ? Where's AJ? Come here, Reddit. Reddick. All right. We got offensive coordinator, Reddick Shell. Right there, you see yourself. There you come. And this is live now, so don't say a bad word.
Oh, I know. If I say a bad word, my dad will just spank me.
Talk a little. This is your first Battle of Murder Creek tomorrow. Are you excited?
Yes, I am very excited.
Who's going to win the game?
Miller.
What's the score going to be?
7-8.
Close one. Defensive struggle. And your dad's the offensive coordinator, right?
The coach.
Very good. If you were calling the plays tomorrow and you had the first play, what would you call? Would you run it, or would you throw it, or a trick play?
Trick play.
Trick play. Who would you want the ball to go to? Who would you want to have it for T.R. Miller?
I don't know.
You don't want to tip them off just yet. Don't want to give away all the secrets, do you? Micah? Get it to Micah. Okay. All right. I understand. He'll be back from the track meet. Look forward to having him back. You going to school tomorrow? What'd you dress up as for Halloween?
Bumblebee the Transformer.
How much candy did you get?
Little bit.
Well,
There was only 4 houses that were there.
4 houses. What was the best candy you got? Reese Cups. I love Reese Cups also.
Yes.
Well, your dad won't have anything going on tonight, so make sure you eat all your candy tonight and stay up as late as you can, okay?
No, I need to get to bed.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see you at the stadium tomorrow night. Have a good day in school, and we'll be there for the Battle of Murder Creek tomorrow night, okay?
Okay.
Thanks for being here. How about that? Reddick Shell, little special feature coming in. Son of offensive coordinator Ryan Shell. Did we ever determine that AJ was gone? AJ's gone, okay, so we won't have AJ tonight. But once again, we appreciate everybody being in with us tonight on the program. It's going to be a great game tomorrow night, like it always is. Would encourage everybody to get to the stadium earlier, support both these teams. We will have it on the BMP Sports Network page, audio and video. But the very best place to watch this game is in the stadium. Let's get there early, stay late, have a big time, be loud, be proud, and we'll see you tomorrow night. Pre-game about 6:30, kickoff at 7. For Ken James, our executive producer, I'm David Jennings, and this has been a Boss Man production. Thanks for being with us.